How's it, everyone? Wayne the Known here, and welcome back to another episode of Geeking Out, where we basically discuss everything nerd and geek related. I'm joined here by Kyle, also known as Pixel Phantom 85, and we are going to be talking about, well, let me restart that. We are doing another segment on knowing that artist, and I'm joined here by Pixel Phantom 85, also known as Kyle, and we are going to be talking, God, I haven't done the artist one in a long time. We're going to be talking about what it's like being an artist, specifically, as you called it, kit bashing.
Yes.
So, if you don't mind me asking, because I know I kind of asked it when we started, what is kit bashing, and what made you want to start doing that?
So kit bashing is kind of like Frankensteining other toys with other toys, like parts from one toy and bases with another one to make one like basically what I envision in my head. Picture like Sid from Toy Story, but not maniacal, and I actually have like an artistic
Not
vision.
as not as not
Again,
as not as fucking psychotic.
no, I don't strap my
And
figures to
you
rockets
are
or
you
anything
are
like
allowed to
that.
cut you are allowed to cuss on here. This is a 18 and over.
Although I do have some abandoned projects in boxes that I would not be surprised if like they crawled out and was pure nightmare
We
fuel.
toys see
Yeah,
everything.
complete us.
Oh, I imagine. I can't imagine how many projects you have in the back burner that are still need to be worked on.
Oh my gosh, too many. If I take you on a little tour around the apartment, I can show you my desk and my workspace. It's quite a mess, but there get a peek at some cool stuff I
Oh
got.
yeah, if you want to show that, you're more than welcome to, man. Let
Awesome,
people
awesome.
know. So how long have you been doing this for, and what made you decide this is what you wanted to do?
I kind of fell down a YouTube rabbit hole of like so it first started off watching just like action figure reviewers, and there was one reviewer that I watched. His name was Glenn Webb, and he not only reviewed action figures, but he actually made his own. Like one of the reviews that popped up was him reviewing a figure that he made. And I was like, oh, that's really cool that he could make that himself. And then he had other videos where he would go through like the entire process of, sculpting and kit bashing, painting, everything. And it really piqued my interest. I've always been an artist. I've dabbled in, a little bit of everything. I used to, do perlers and make like the three-dimensional 16-bit, pixel art or sketching. Dabbled in doing tattoos for a little while. So, but this just really kind of struck me and intrigued me, and I thought I can do that. It couldn't be that hard to heat up some plastic and cut some pieces and make that work for me. And I made two figures. My first go around, I made a Batfleck Batman, and I made a Spawn. Uh,
Ooh.
the Batfleck Batman, I both of them I reused for parts for other figures as I got better. But yeah, I those were I look back at working on those, and just the excitement of trying this new artistic venture. I'm glad that I found it, because this is the longest I've ever stuck with
Yeah,
one art form.
I remember you showing me your and I'll show a bigger picture, your Spawn army.
Oh yeah, oh my God, that's just I've made so many spawns, it's unreal.
I mean, that
Yeah,
looks the one in the front, the female Spawn, that I've never seen anyone do that before. That looks pretty cool.
thank you. That was actually a commission piece. So most of those actually have been sold off by now.
Oh,
Uh,
I wholeheartedly believe it.
I'm trying to get better about actually selling the pieces that I make. I was telling my fiance the other day, if I told her this, if I made what all the projects I have in my mind, if I made all of that with all the fodder that I have, so I wouldn't have any room to live.
You'd be just walking out the doors and just see a pile of toys fall out. Figures, my bad, the correct
Figures
term.
in my pocket. Yeah, they're toys. They're toys. I'm not gonna lie. I have this bad habit of when I'm working on something, I tend to like carry it around in my pocket.
Nice. How long have you been doing this for?
Just about 5 years now.
So since 2018. Wow.
Yeah.
Geez, we're already 2023. It doesn't feel that long.
it really doesn't. My son just turned 3, and it's like, what? How is this? The passage of time is unreal.
So you said the first two projects you work on were the Batfleck and Spawn.
Batfleck and Spawn. Um, and I made a Punisher, which no longer exists. I took him apart. And then the parts I used for that Punisher, I made a Gambit, and then I took that Gambit apart, and then I used that for a commission piece that I don't remember. I've made so much, I tend to forget.
It kind of reminds me of those Marvel and DC Legend toys that when you like buy the figure, it'll come with like the extra parts, and then it'll come like with a main like a leg or an arm that you build into one giant thing. That's what it kind of reminds me of.
There are quite a few of the customs that I've made. I use a lot of those builder figures. It certainly makes disassemble and getting access to certain joints a heck of a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And the I've been considering working more with the McFarlane figures because they are really easy to disassemble. With
Oh
a little
yeah.
bit, you could really just take that entire thing apart.
I
Whereas
think
like
I think that's
the
what the
Hasbro,
idea that Mark Farland had and intended.
yeah, yeah. Well, and especially too because he releases those the variants that are just like completely blank and unpainted. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that was his idea to let toy makers kind of go crazy with it. I actually applied for a job with them last year.
Nice. Did you get it or?
I did not. I did not. It would. I live in Oregon, so that would be.
Oh
It was.
I live in I live in Oregon too.
Oh, nice. Right on. Yeah, and the job was in Arizona, so it would have required a move. So I think I kind of dodged a bullet there. I wasn't
E
really prepared for a move.
trade the Pacific Northwest weather for hot weather. No, thank you. Been there,
No
done
thanks.
that.
No thanks.
Mainly used for they're just mainly to have as a display piece.
Yeah, so a lot of the times when I'm working on a spawn, it's you get that big boot there, and I just cut
Oh.
that clean off. A lot of dremeling to make parts work. A lot of those like armbands with the spikes and
Oh
everything.
yeah, not to mention some of the spawn will have like the spike boot covers.
Yep, the spike boot covers, all the skulls and chains. I try to salvage all of that. It was a pain, especially too because some of the spawn figures are expensive, and it
Oh
was like
yeah. Even
it
your
was a lot of
cheap
hemming and
even
hawing.
I'll
It
bet.
was a lot of like trying to figure out if I wanted to even go into that venture of making a custom spawn, but I'm glad I did. I've made a bunch of them, and it's been pretty profitable with the spawns.
I believe again from what I've seen on your Instagram and the pictures you showed me. Which kind of brings me to the question. The one picture I'm not I had a buddy of mine tell me who he is, but I can't remember. You can answer for me. And you can tell me how the process that went into this because I'm kind of curious.
Okay.
Who is this and what was the process that went into him?
Oh, the Maxx. The That's so funny because I just got done watching that cartoon with my fiance. So the Maxx is an old image character from the 90s. The comic is really interesting. He looks like, your generic 90s big muscle superhero, but the comic is actually about trauma and this abuse that this girl has faced, and the mechanisms that she's kind of created in her mind to cope with all of that. And the Maxx is a really really big part of that, and he's also her protector that she's kind of created for herself as well.
Nice, kind of like, well, I was gonna say Eddie Brock and Venom from the Venom movie, but that really is not a good example.
I honestly, it's kind of unique, and I really can't think of anything that I could really compare to. But that guy is a combination of the actual McFarlane Max figure and the build a figure of Caliban from Marvel Legends, the Caliban Marvel Legends wave, and the big feet there was the biggest pain because I actually had to just Dremel cut those
Oh,
clean off, and then obviously there's
you
no
mean
articulate.
this one right here?
Yes, that guy right there. Yep. So that's what
Jeez,
he started off as.
that's
So
crazy.
I took him off his right at the calves, took those off, and then
Oh,
I joined the
and
big
here's
feet
like
of
a
the
for
Mac.
anyone. Here's like a good example for anyone wanting to know what it looks like taken apart.
Yeah.
Thank
So
goodness for the arm joints, the
yes,
sockets.
it's really nice being able to just pop those arms out, and then I can Dremel down those shoulders, and then avoid all that paint rub. So much, it's so nice, so nice. Figures that have the butterfly joints where you can move them back and forth. You those are pretty easy where you can just heat them and then pop them clean off. That's really nice. Although
Nice.
unfortunately, a lot of companies, Marvel Legends in particular, lately are going more pinless, so it makes it harder to customize, or at least as far as like swapping parts, because the only way to swap those parts is to actually slice the joint, and then you got this looseness, and then the only way that you can actually join those other parts is super glue, and it's really tricky to actually keep that articulation.
Oh, I'll bet. I mean, for anyone wanting an example of what the actual figure looks like, here's the.
That's the official one. That
Yeah.
thing, oh, that's the extra way more. That one is incredibly expensive. I wish I could have afforded that one.
I mean, the one thing I like about yours. I mean, no disrespect to the toy, but the one thing I like about yours, it again, I'll show it. It looks more detailed. Like you put a lot of detail into to the one you made.
Thank you. I pride myself on trying to keep as much detail. I'm a stickler for detail. I I'm my own worst critic, and I really, really, like I told you, I kind of carry a figure around in my pocket when I'm working on it because I'm constantly scrutinizing it and looking at it and be like, what can I do better?
Oh no, I completely understand. How long did it take to make that version, the custom Max?
The custom Max, he took a little longer than I wanted because I had a little bit of paint rub issues, which is always tends to kind of set stuff back. Is I like to be able to have it be able to fully articulate. You can pose it however you want and not lose any of the paint job. I would feel really like a schmuck if I was charging the money that I'm charging and you couldn't fully enjoy what you're getting. So the Max took me, I think I worked on him for about 3 or 4 months. Um, just to like I said, just to get those parts right. A lot of epoxies get has to set. And having the paint to set, and like I said, I ran into a lot of paint rub issues. Plus, I work full time and I have 2 kids, so I work it in when I can.
And I mean, not to mention the amount of like the how many coats of purple did that take?
Quite a few, quite a
Oh,
few.
I'll
I'm getting
bet.
better. I have a lot of friends who work on customs as well, and I get a lot of tips from them. Where like yellow really used to be such a pain in the ass, and if you're just working with straight yellow or straight white, it's gonna take 6, 7 coats.
Trust me, I'm fully familiar with the. I made I took an old water gun and turned it into a steampunk pistol, and the amount of not just like the base spray paint, but then the spray paint after that, and then the course
Yeah,
of layers of the brown, the gold.
it's painstaking, but it's so worth it in the
Oh, and
end.
the, oh, no, I highly agree that it's worth it. I mean, it looks like it paid off really well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's I everything in life worth having and worth getting to, you get there by putting in the work, and it's a lot of the times it takes a hell of a long time, but it is worth it. It's worth it.
Oh, I completely agree. Now has that been the biggest project, or have you had bigger projects aside from the Max?
I did. So I've made a couple of figures on that same build a figure. I made a Zangief from Street Fighter 2.
Ooh.
He was a pretty big endeavor. I made a Monster Venom on that same body. That was a pretty big endeavor. Um, One that's kind of smaller, and I can show you here really quick.
Feel free to show. Yeah, no, definitely.
So this guy, Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider, the
Oh,
90s Ghost Rider here.
oh, that is
So
cool.
he has a lot of different parts mashed
I
together.
can definitely see like the legs.
Yeah, and so like, and some of these parts are from the old '90s like uh cartoon toys, and just fashioned to make and work on these newer Hasbro figures. Unfortunately, I don't think Hasbro's ever going to give us an actual Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, so I had to go
That's
ahead and make
why
one
that's why
myself.
people like you and others. Now the Flames, are they part of that or are they part of something else?
They are so the actually the one on his head right here. This is part of that. The back flame is actually taken from I think a jack-o'-lantern figure, and then glued that to the back. And then there's a wraparound flame that works from the back down his neck, and it wraps down both sides. And then that's from, I believe, a Phoenix figure.
I can honestly see you with how you did how detailed the skull is. I can definitely see you do a Scorpion for Mortal Kombat.
Oh my gosh, man, I have wanted to make Mortal Kombat figures in the worst way. But I'm such a, I scrutinize my work so much, and I'm such a perfectionist that I haven't found the proper recipe that I think would work best. And I'm old school. I'm creeping on my 40s. I would want to go, like probably Mortal Kombat 1 or Mortal Kombat
Oh yeah,
2
no,
with
MK
awesome
is
stuff.
no classic Mortal Kombat is the way to go.
Yeah, yeah.
But that Ghost Rider, what was his name?
Danny Ketch. So this is the '90s Ghost Rider.
Oh, that
Um,
that is like the attention to detail again. I mean, I know like the standard toys like him, if they were to be produced by, Marvel Toys or whatever, it'd all be mass produced and it would look all the same. And I have nothing against the like the Marvel Legends, DC Legends stuff, all cool and everything. But I think when you can go, like make it your own, make it more like it actually came out of the comic book and everything.
yeah, you're right because you have that more. You scrutinize it more, and like you said, because it's not mass produced, you don't have to keep the formula simple. And you're not working off of. Well, I mean, I am. I'm working off of molds that are already made, but I'm not working off of a specific mold that has as many restrictions. Um, and sorry, I lost my train of thought. My daughter came back out. One
Oh, you're
second.
fine.
My daughter's getting more interested in scary stuff. So
Oh,
we're
wait till the Five Nights at Freddy's movie comes out
I
this year.
know, I know. I'm
It's
excited.
it's it's gonna be in theaters, and if you have the streaming service Peacock,
We do.
so you'll probably need the subscription. You'll probably need the Peacock subscription to watch it since it's coming out the same day as it is in theaters.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I kind of lost track for those who were watching. I kind of lost track. We were talking about. Um, I guess I'll continue on to the next question. It's another figure that caught my attention, and it was I remember watching the show as a kid back in the '90s. What was it like making the iconic the Tick?
Oh man, that's the second tick I've made. It's incredibly simple. But I'm so pleased with the results. I have them displayed. That's for my own personal collection. um, I have them displayed in on my entertainment center with a bunch of other Supermen in my own head canon. So I have that Tick, and I have All Might, and the Sentry, and Superman, and One Punch Man, and the Toxic Avenger, all in one super group.
Nice. So out of all of them, is only the Tick the custom made one?
Yes, only the Tick is a
Oh,
custom made one. I
first.
do.
Sorry, I saw your dog.
Yep, this is
We
Toby.
we always allow pets to be shown on here. He's so
Okay,
precious.
okay, cool. This is Toby.
We are
He's
we are
actually
we are not only are we an inclusive and diverse channel, we are also a pet friendly one.
oh awesome. Lacey, Miss Marvelous, actually, her dog. We found out that her and my dog are like basically identical twins.
No,
They look the exact same, and they have like the exact same mannerisms and everything.
no, she's so he or she.
He,
He is so precious.
he's
Um,
my Toby McGuire.
now have you ever made any customs for your wife? Does she collect or anything?
She does collect actually. She's got a whole shelf of Marvel Legends and statues of different ladies. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. Um, I do have. Go. Can we go on a
Yeah.
little
Oh yeah,
tour?
no, you're more than welcome to go on a little tour. I do not mind.
Okay.
Let
All right.
people get the experience, the Disney experience, as I call it.
All right. Let me figure out how to rotate here.
Oh, there we go. Oh wow,
So this is her shelf here.
Catwoman. Classic Catwoman, Harley Quinn, Spider Gwen, Red
Oh yeah.
Phoenix. That's a lot of Harley Quinn.
So
Sailor Moon, Sailor. Oh wow,
uh,
yeah.
Sailor Jupiter, that's her favorite. But this Catwoman right here,
Oh,
I made for her.
that kind of reminds me of her look from Arkham City.
That's what I was shooting for. That's exactly what I was shooting
And you
for.
got Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. Oh, that looks
Actually,
pretty
these are
cool.
the two '60s Catwomen.
Oh, Julie Newmar and Eartha Kitt.
Yep, they haven't done the third one yet, but as soon as McFarlane does the third one, I'm so getting
Oh,
her.
that is cool.
Yeah, a lot of Harley. She's got a Ragnarok shelf that I gotta fix, and watch out, buddy. Watch out, buddy. Oh, her X-Men shelf, and here's
Nice.
another custom I made.
Oh, what's her name? I can't. The name's drawing a blank.
Psylocke. Psylocke.
Psylocke. That's like, wait, you made that custom Psylocke?
I did, yes. Uh,
Oh, that is
uh,
cool.
Ms. Marvelous is actually really awesome. She sends me a lot of the extra parts that she has, like hands and extra head sculpts. So this head sculpt is from the Marvel Select.
Oh,
Uh,
I love the purple beam. And now did that come or did you make the beam itself?
the beam itself, I forget exactly what toy this came with, but
It works for Psylocke because that's part of her power.
yeah, so I just dremeled out a little hole so it can wrap around her fist. And yeah, I
That is really cool. And the
thank
best,
you.
and it didn't look like you really had to do a whole lot with that. Just take some parts off and put some other parts on.
Honestly, so I've made a lot of mutants, and actually, that's one of two. I have a couple of different X-Men displays, so this is my second Psylocke that I made.
Oh, so like how much like someone like her, how much would she go for if someone was to have something like that commissioned?
I actually have this one, or I did have her on sale on eBay for about, I think I was asking for 115 for her, just because she took me
By the
quite.
way, I love your table setup, man.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I have my incredibly janky standee for my camera.
Oh, hey, it works.
And
And there's the Conan you were talking about earlier.
yep, this is one of the figures I finished pretty recently. And oh my gosh, I kit bashed this guy pretty much from the ground up.
And I also
Uh,
love the blood on the sword. What did you use for the blood on the sword?
so the paint that I use is Citadel paints. It's I actually get it from a Warhammer store.
Oh, okay. I was about to say when he said like when he said Citadel, like it sounds like something you get from your miniature shop that you would like used to paint mini customs.
Yep, yep. I go to this place called the Forge. Pretty cool little shop. And
Shout out to the Forge.
yeah, shout out to the Forge. The blood paint here is actually called Blood for the Blood God. I find that quite fitting.
Oh,
Um,
that is awesome.
but Conan here is actually a peak example of kit bashing. The base body is the Marvel Legends Hercules. The shoulder armor is from a Gladiator Hulk.
I was
It's
about it looked like Hulk's and
yep from
the axe I know is definitely Gimli's axe from Lord of the Rings.
Gimli's axe. Which thank you, you pointed that out to me. I had no idea where I got this thing from. The head is from the Marvel Legends Vulcan. Then the hair is from the Savage He-Man from the He-Man Revelations. And then the tunic, there the yeah, the tunic piece here is oh my gosh, super kit bash. The belt itself is from the Masters of the Universe. Oh gosh, what's his name? The guy with the jaw, the metal jaw.
Oh, but not
Trapjaw or
not
Lockjaw?
lo- I'm looking at it right now.
Oh gosh,
No, I think it is. No, Lockjaw is from Trapjaw's from He-Man. Is
Trapjaw. Okay, so I got the belt from Trapjaw, and then the back little piece of armor here was from a samurai figure, and then the actual bits of soft good cloth was the cape that came with the Trapjaw, and then the side armor came off of that same samurai figure. The
nice.
sword I actually made, so the actual like handle and hilt is from a McFarlane DC Multiverse. I think this sword came with the Damian Wayne Robin, and then the actual blade is from a Masters of the Universe He-Man sword.
Nice.
And then the sword that's actually in the sheath here, that is Excalibur.
I imagine someone like him would go almost for like 200 then.
That's I've kind of I'm toying with the idea of selling this guy. Like I said, I'm trying to get better about actually selling the stuff that I made. And that's probably about what this guy
Well,
would go for.
especially since you said you built him from the ground up, and I think people need to realize that when you're asking for these prices, not because, that's the price, it's the hours you put into it, the stuff you had to get for it. Like custom stuff costs more than something you would buy at a store.
Oh, 110%. It's and like I was saying about the Ghost Rider and the Maxx, the figures that I want parts from, they can be pretty pricey. I mean, the Maxx figure itself that I get parts from, that guy can go from about anywhere from like $30 to $50. I mean, and that's just one part of the
That may
equation.
sound that may sound cheap, but in the long run, it can get pretty pricey.
Exactly, and like I said, that's only one part of it. The other, like the rest of the body that goes onto, is for a build a figure, and those build a figures are kind of expensive. They can be up just those alone can be up to about $100.
Oh,
So
I wholeheartedly believe it.
yeah,
Um,
so thank you. It's nice to hear someone say, no, your asking prices
oh,
aren't insane.
from someone who's had to pay for custom stuff, whether it's for cosplays, whether it's art commissions, like I get it. It is, it's not like something you can go on like Amazon or eBay and well, mainly Amazon and buy it mass produced. Like the person has to put not only are they putting the time in, but also they're putting the money that you send them is going to the parts or whatever. Like,
Absolutely. I mean, and I hand paint a lot of this stuff.
and the
I
material alone, it can get pretty pricey too.
absolutely, absolutely. You'd ask me if I've done other stuff with soft goods. Uh, Getting stuff from other sellers and getting those soft goods, that can be pretty pricey, and that's just another part of getting parts for the actual base figure itself.
I
You know,
mean, a good example, and I'll show it, and with your permission, if I can show a bigger picture of it, let me see if I can't find
absolutely,
it.
absolutely.
Was your come on, load, where I just saw him like not even like a few minutes ago. Oh yeah, your custom Ben Riley.
Yeah.
I mean, along with
Oh yeah, it's my reel going through my whole. Oh my gosh, I have a lot of Spider-Mans.
and
I'm a
those were all, and these are all that you made.
Not all of those are ones that I made, but the Ben Riley I made. I do have a
Is that barbed wire you used for his web?
no, actually that's so the web is just a bunch of twisty ties, and then I'll take like two twisty ties and I'll twist those together and that'll be like the base web, and then I'll take another one and go around and then I'll make knots in that web in the base web to kind of make it look like the McFarlane spaghetti webs.
Nice. Also, I like the green paint you added to your Venom.
Oh, thank you. That Venom is actually, yeah, that is a completely custom hand painted Venom. I did
Oh,
that
here's okay,
body
so
is
here's a
actually
better version of the Ben Riley.
much better picture. So the Ben Riley, that was, it looks simple, and it kind of is, because it is just a red base body. But then I'm getting parts, and I made that belt. I completely kit bashed that belt and made that from, I think, two other belts. Super glued it and made it work, and meticulously made it work because it doesn't hinder any of the articulation and nothing falls apart.
That
And then
is
the
awesome.
sweater itself, with the Spiders logo and everything, that's from the old Toy Biz figure.
Oh, and for anyone wondering, here's it without the head and
Yeah,
everything.
it's in the process. So yeah, the actual like yellow parts of the belt, that was from the Marvel Legends Spy Master, and then the buckle, I think that was from a Captain America figure, and then I think there's a back half of it that's from a Captain America figure as well.
Oh, and speaking of Harley Quinn, I gotta say I've never seen this version of Harley, but that is a really cool
Oh,
Harley
thank you.
Quinn.
Yeah. That was actually just original concept idea for Harley that I made for a good friend of mine who is obsessed with Harley Quinn. So I just had some parts and I whipped that together. And I was like, you know what? That doesn't look half bad.
Oh, that looks really cool.
Thank
It,
you. That's actually a
the
little bit of an older one. I think that one has withstood the test of time.
it almost the outfit itself kind of reminds me of Black Widow's outfit.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. Is the with the cat suit look.
Oh,
Yeah, for
geez, you're
sure.
like I got Bob and Deadpool. I think one more I want to show because I like I haven't seen this thing like in a long time.
I shoot for the obscure,
The
man.
Pepsi Man.
Oh, Pepsi Man is, oh my gosh, dude. Pepsi Man is such a big hit for me. I all of like any of my social media posts, a lot of them that they get most of the attention is Pepsi Man. A lot of the customs that sell and sell quickly is Pepsi Man.
I
Um,
mean, here is oh no, that's you, that's sure. Here is the actual Pepsi Man figure compared to the one that you did.
yeah, I want to make that version right there so bad with the red streak. I've only done the gray and blue one, but oh man, it's so absurd, and I freaking love it. I've made three Pepsi Mans. I'm actually in the process of making a fourth one right now.
Nice. Now another question I usually ask artists, have you ever like brought your figures to sell at conventions?
I haven't. I've considered that. I've actually got some friends that started just peddling their wares at conventions, and a lot of the stuff that they make. And there are a couple of conventions in my area that I guess I could try and do that. I guess I have like a mental block about it where just like putting myself out there like that.
Well,
It would,
that's the whole point of this podcast is to let people know about you.
yeah, yeah. And it's something I've been trying to do the last couple of years, is trying to just put myself out there more as an artist. That is definitely an idea. I've given it some thought. I have not done that yet though.
Well, I know a few local Oregon conventions. I think you could probably hit up in the future.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
give. What part of Oregon are you from, by the way?
I live in Junction City, so I'm just outside of Eugene.
I've never heard
The
of Junction City.
Scandinavian Festival is what we're known for.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so yeah, that's Junction City, man.
Nice. Now, what's been your like your biggest project, whether it's just the size of the character or like the attention to detail that you had to do?
Um, so the size, I can answer that both ways. So the size is so there's I'm sure you're a collector yourself, right?
I collect here and there when I can. I collect a bit of every, as you can see on this part of the wall, there's more in front of me.
So for the Lightyear movie that came out recently, they had a bunch of the Zurg figures, like the bigger, taller Zurg figures, and I had
Ooh.
turned those into Sentinels. Um, I don't have
Nice.
I don't have the bigger one. I sold the bigger ones. I actually just those Zerg figures just were on clearance at
They're like what, 12-inch, 13 inches almost.
14 inches.
14-inch, and you turn into a Sentinel from the Marvel universe?
Yes, yes. So
What?
there's some sellers on eBay that have some 3D printed heads, and I'll just pop off the Zerg head, pop
If
on
you
the
have like a
freaking.
picture of that, Please send it. That's really cool.
Absolutely, that is on my Instagram. That's totally on my Instagram. I
I'm gonna have
think it's
to.
on my post where I have like showcasing some of my more recent stuff. Oh man, hold, I can find it
Let me
really
see.
quick.
Oh, you even got. Hey, you even got the purple phantom.
I am working on that guy right now. I am in love with that figure.
Silver Surfer. That's a lot of chrome.
I am making Silver Surfer right now for my
Oh
brother-in-law.
yeah, here. All right.
Yeah,
For
I just
anyone
shot you a
wondering,
picture of that Sentinel.
that I'm gonna show a bigger picture. That and you said that was from a custom Zerg.
That is from a Zerg, yeah.
Holy
So completely
shit!
repainted. The I've got actually a new idea for the next one. I've seen some other people do it. I want to hollow out his hand and put a magnet, and then get some like bendy cables, and then do like the like he can grab some mutants.
Oh, that is really freaking cool, man.
So the Zerg base body just went on clearance at Walmart, so I just bought 6 of those big guys. So I'm going to be making an army of Sentinels here pretty soon.
So you said you is a Zerg figure
Yes, Zerg from the Lightyear movie.
figure Lightyear. You can correct. You can. I think actually I found it. Um,
That's it. Yep, yep.
and you turn that you go from that, and I'll be showing a comparison. You go from that to the Sentinel. That is, and I've seen Sentinel toys, but like the fact that you like, what was the term you called it?
Kitbashing.
Yeah, kit mashing. The fact that you turned a Zerg and kit mashed it into a Sentinel from the Marvel universe. Oh, I'm running out of breath here. Holy crap! And this is a 10-inch figure.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
10-inch version that has like the blaster arm, and then the 14-inch version is the same figure
I
essentially.
mean, that's definitely something that you would have to like keep on the shelf, keep away from the kids,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
because that
Actually,
thing would not only break, but that thing would hurt if it was to hit you.
I have the HasLab Sentinel, which is gigantic, and I will show you.
Oh yeah. Oh,
This
I can
bad
see
boy.
it.
Yeah.
That's the one that get like can cost quite a bit of money. So the way
And
he's
then
like,
this
oh
guy right
wow,
here, the smaller Sentinel, or
uh-huh.
actually the Zerg you just showed, the 10-inch scale one, I made this guy
Oh
out of
wow.
the.
Now, have you ever thought about trying to make something as big as the big Sentinel?
Oh man, actually I have. So there is an old Dark Knight figure that's, I think it's like a foot tall, maybe. No, I guess gotta be like 2 feet tall. It's huge. Um, it's a Christian Bale Dark Knight figure that I've seen somebody turn into Galactus, and I think I can do it. And I really, really want to. I really want to do it. I've seen them.
I mean, it will work with your Silver Surfer you're working on right now too.
Absolutely. Oh man, I think about that. Yeah, absolutely. And like I've seen them like hollow out the chest and like light it and put like lighting.
LEDs, that's like a lot of work too.
It's a lot of work, but I really think it would be worth it. I really do. Um,
Nice.
but that would mean I'd have to kill my Christian Bale Batman figure, and I
Oh,
don't.
want to do that. No,
No.
I don't blame you. Now, what are some projects you would like to work on that are not comic book related?
Ooh. So I am really big into horror. I love scary movies. I Horror is my favorite genre of all time. I've kind of dabbled in making some scary figures.
Like
I
from
can show you.
from Five Nights at Freddy's.
More like Friday the 13th,
Oh,
or like
Jason, Evil Dead.
yeah. So like I have you ever seen Reanimator?
I've seen the first two.
So I made Dr.
Oh,
Herbert West for
oh man, now
Reanimator.
only if you can get Jeffrey Combs to sign that.
Oh man, I wish. I got like a whole set, like a
All
bloody
you ever got is
shovel,
like the
and
shovel, the bag, the little.
yeah,
Oh, that is. I
and
don't think I've ever seen a reanimator figure of Doctor
I
Herbert
honestly,
West.
I really think this is the only
And he's
like
only
custom
holding the
Reanimator.
he.
Yep,
See
he's got the dead
the way
cap,
he
everything.
looks, he looks like if they decided to make a reanimator animated TV show back in the 90s. This is the
Oh
vibe I'm
man.
getting from the figure.
And then I th- not many people are familiar with Monster Vision or Joe Bob Briggs. He's a horror host,
Oh yeah,
and
he would talk about horror movies back in the day.
yeah, yeah,
I
on
watching I
TNT.
remember watching him on TNT one time when he was talking about Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, so I just recently completed him, and I had to surround him,
I
with
like his I like
Roddy
the glasses
Piper,
hold
and
I like the glass he's holding.
thank you.
Oh, that is really see, I like that, and I don't know many people who see make stuff like that, so like that is pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to get more into I really love doing obscure characters and obscure stuff. I mean even just the Phantom that I'm working on right now. Not many people outside of like the 90s movie with Billy Zane.
I actually seen watched that movie years ago.
It's so fun. It's cheesy, but it's fun.
It's definitely peak 90s
Oh yeah.
uh superhero.
I'm actually wearing
The
a Phantom
Ring.
ring.
I thought
Yeah, I got him up
nice.
on that. But yeah, I really like the obscure characters. I like digging into I've made a lot of image characters. So a lot of those, superheroes from the 90s, Spawn, the Maxx, Savage Dragon, Shadowhawk, a lot of lesser known Marvel characters, lesser known DC characters. And it's a lot of times the obscure stuff doesn't get the social attention
And then plus,
that I'd like, but
it doesn't help it, and plus you don't see that stuff mass produced that you would see at stores
no,
or
no.
whatever. So like the fact that you're making things that you don't even see be sold, like the Reanimator one or the other one you just showed me, like I have never seen figures for that. If I have, it's very far few in between.
I don't know of them if they do exist. Yeah, and that's like part of the if I do decide to sell them, that's part of the allure to it too. It's like you're legitimately getting a one of a kind item, and like
Right? Like
like
one
with Pepsi
like
Man.
one of one.
Yeah, like with Pepsi Man, I mean, it's not you can get a legit Pepsi Man, but that thing's
It's rare and like you have to like go to like a secondhand store or nerd store and
mostly
be and
man,
hopefully and cross your fingers. And see that's why I can see you like do the if and whenever you do this at conventions, like people will see something they remember as a kid, like, oh, I remember seeing that when I was a kid, but I've never seen anything sold for it. So that's pretty cool.
That's man. You might you sparked an idea with the convention thing. That might be an avenue worth
It's something I would like
checking.
to see at a it's something I would like to see at a convention because I see like people sell like toys or cups, like the retro stuff from like the 90s, 80s, and 70s that are still in the box that never been removed.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
The
the
last convention I went to, I got some old Wizard of Oz figures for my fiance. She really
yeah,
dug she's dug that old stuff. She's a collector too, so I really lucked out there.
nice. Right now before we end this, advice for those who want to get into kit bashing or smashing?
Kit bashing.
Yeah, advice for those who wanted to get into this just in general or do kit bashing.
Um, so like I had said with my old saying with my kiddos, like Babe Ruth didn't step up to plate and start hitting home runs immediately. You're gonna fail, but it's what you learn from that. And it's it's having patience to get where you want to be. And the biggest thing I can say is prep work. Prep work is key.
Oh,
You
I'm
can't.
sure you've had your fair share of something that go right, you just throw it against the wall, cuss,
Yeah,
cry, go in a
yeah.
corner, and just like,
So like, the kit bashing is one part of the aspect of prep work, of prepping stuff, but I mean, you have to sand joints, you have to there's dremeling, there's so much that goes into it, and there's patience. You got to be patient with it, and you got to stick to what your vision is. Um if you're going to see it to fruition. But prep work is the biggest thing that I can say. I've seen so many other beginner artists that don't put in the prep work, and it really hurts the final products. Not to sling mud at anybody, but I want to see people be better and do better. And I think if they just put that extra step in, that even as beginners, you can make your final product look just that much better, that much crisper.
oh, I wholeheartedly agree from what you have shown me and from what I've seen on your Instagram. And what Miss Marvelous was telling me is like, yeah, that's. I mean, you see a lot of it nowadays. Like again, I see like a lot of people like on YouTube doing that, but like you don't see one. You don't see like obscure ones, like ones you showed me. Like again, I've never seen a Herbert West or what was the guy's name with the cowboy hat?
Oh, Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah, Joe. I've never seen either of those before. Again, if
Not
I
like
have,
Conan the Barbarians either, you know?
or Conan. I've seen a fair. I mean, I've seen the Schwarzenegger versions, Conan,
Yeah.
the Arnold one, but like I've never seen that one you just showed me or the Jason Momoa one. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like I love obscure. I love the obscure cheesy characters. Like I really one of my dream figures to make is a Toxic Avenger. I really want to do.
Oh, that's gonna. I mean, you may. That'd be cool to see because I feel like you would have to get like a heat gun to melt a face because his face is all
I've
distorted and
thought about
everything.
that, yeah. And do some real damage, but I think Toxic could happen in the future.
Oh,
Or
that'd
some tear up a little tutu, some soft good tutu.
be pretty cool. So, before we end this, as I always ask, would you like to promote yourself by letting people know where they can find you on social media?
Pretty much just one spot really is that I have any of my work shown on a regular basis. Instagram is at Pixel Phantom 85. I Pixel Phantom 85 is also where you can find me on eBay. I have a lot of my custom work for sale. I've got a lot of pretty cool stuff up for sale right now. I've got that the Ben Riley SpiderMan that you were showing off. That guy's for sale. I have a Peter Parker. I've got a couple of Punishers. I've got a Thomas Jane movie Punisher that's for sale. Herbert West is for sale. So yeah, check me out. If you want to, expand your obscure character shelf work.
That definitely. Again, Kyle, thank you for coming on to show off your not only your collections but the works of art you've done for this podcast. It's really cool stuff, man.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me. This has been a lot of fun.
You're very welcome. And as always, I am Wayne the Unknown. Until next time, thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for watching.